The time is 3:54 p.m. and we are on the record.
Okay. We'll continue here with October 15, 2021, $9.64 to JC's Liquor in Granbury. What was that for?
I do not recall.
Okay. What did the business purchase from JC's Liquor?
I do not recall. Sometimes I give Becky my card, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe some of these charges.
Is Becky a member of the LLC?
No.
Put this back on for you real quick here just to make sure I'm mic'd up. Is she an officer of the entity?
No, she is not an officer, though she does a lot of help.
Okay. So she took the card and went to the liquor store?
I told you I cannot recall.
Okay. Have you been into JC's Liquor in Granbury?
Have I ever been there? Of course I've been there.
Were you there on October 15th?
I do not recall.
Here's a $1,514 deposit on October 8th. Any idea who that's from?
That would have been a check deposited to the bank. Any idea who it's from?
Mhm.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Same thing for this $1,028.38.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
I believe we've already covered getting all pictures of all checks in and out of the business account, and we will do that.
Okay. Here's a payment on September 22nd, 2021 to David's for $2.67. You testified earlier that $2.67 is you stop for a Monster every day, correct?
Not every day, but I did testify that sometimes I do.
Okay. So can we assume this $2.67 to David's was for a Monster?
Could have been, I don't know.
Alright, so the business account is supporting your personal lifestyle, correct?
I think that's a miscategorization, and given that I keep people in the office, I think it's important to, get stuff that they need, or that they want, or that it's nice to have around. When I have somebody come by for a consultation, I do like offering them a water or Monster or whatever it is that they,
So you stopped and purchased a single Monster to ensure anyone that came to see you on 9/22 would have a drink?
I was speaking in the abstract. Again, I don't recall what that was.
Okay. Does Criswell Strategies lease a storage facility anywhere?
Yes.
Where is that?
That is Van Buren RV Storage.
Okay, what is the purpose of the storage facility?
For my trailer.
For your what kind of trailer is
It's
this?
a utility trailer that we use to deliver big signs. 4x8s, 4x4s, carry the T-posts.
What's the approximate value of that trailer?
That trailer, if I had to guess, I'd say maybe $2,000. That was a carryover. My dad had bought that when we started doing the landscaping stuff. I guess technically it's his, but he lets me use it for the business.
So it's registered in his name?
Yeah.
There's a payment for $295 to Tarrant County on September 13th. What is that for?
I'd assume it had something to do with the, court fees and stuff. We've talked about that already.
Okay. For your probation fees?
I don't know if it's probation fees or fines or whatever. I have a hard time keeping up with all that stuff too. So there's the fine side of it, there's the probation fees, there's the, court costs,
And your corporate entity is paying all of those for you?
it will either be deducted through my earnings statement, or if the bookkeeper, accountant lady allows it, and says that it does have to do with business, again, because I do believe that a lot of these charges in this deposition and the fact that you from the Hyde Law Firm are here has to do with my business.
So then the payment of your fees would be considered compensation, correct?
Through the leave or through the earnings statement system, yes.
Okay, so there's an additional $300 a month.
It's not a month. Go back and look. It's not a month.
You don't pay monthly probation fees?
The monthly probation fee is $60.
Okay, who is that paid to?
That is paid to Tarrant County.
Okay. Were there fines assessed as well?
Yeah, I think so.
How much were the fines?
I don't recall.
Have the fines all been paid?
I don't think so.
How much time remains on your probation in order to ensure those fines are paid?
Another year, something like that. So, got plenty of time.
Okay.
Though I am eligible for early, I think in July, so hopefully that'll come to fruition.
Does Criswell Strategies have any outstanding invoices due and owing to the entity?
Yeah, there's a check I'm waiting on from Michelle Evans for $4,000.
Okay.
I think that's in the mail.
Any others?
I don't think so. I think everybody else is paid up.
Okay. The crossover or transition into the corporate marketing. You said you picked up a couple of new clients, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who are those clients?
One of them is a DBA called Texas Touch of Glass. It is a stained glass repair company. It's kind of a little niche market dying art, if you will.
Okay, and the other one?
I think right now that's the only one that I've signed with.
Okay, so your earlier testimony that there were two was not correct?
Well, there's two in the works I hadn't signed the contract with.
Okay. How much did this glass company pay you?
He wrote me a check for $600 that I have yet to deposit.
For how much?
$600,
Okay.
and that is a startup, and then it goes to I think $100 a month after that, or maybe $50, just to help him with social media stuff. He's a little older guy, but wants to take advantage of the website and all that.
Okay, let's talk about liability of Criswell Strategies. Do you ever take out any loans? The entity ever take out any loans from anyone?
No.
So no debt owed other than daily operational items such as rent and utilities?
I will be selling the pickup to the company, so there will be that.
But as of right now, there's no outstanding debt. No obligations owed to anyone by Criswell Strategies.
I do owe PIC printing. I've got an unpaid invoice there.
How much is that?
I think it's about $1,000
Is that the only outstanding invoice?
that I can recall off the top of my head. Yes, sir.
Okay, what about personal bills outstanding?
Personal bills outstanding. So all the court costs and attorney's fees. Like I say, once Michelle's check comes in, I'll get to stop doing this stuff pro se, and that'll be nice.
Okay, you said there's some outstanding attorney's fees. To who? Who are those owed?
No, there's not outstanding attorney's fees. I said I will get to start paying attorney's fees.
Okay, so the credit cards, that's it?
I don't have a company credit card.
No, personal.
Oh, personal.
Personal, outstanding
Oh,
personal.
personal. Yeah. Okay, so for personal, yeah, there's the credit card, a few things in collections from the divorce.
What's in collections?
I'm glad we got on this topic. I got a deal the other day from Texas Tollway, and apparently the Subaru that Jenny maintained possession of at the end of the divorce is racked up like $4,000 that I'm on the hook for. So we do need to start looking to do something about that. If we can make a note of that. I'll email you the bill that they sent. It's like $2,000 or $4,000 in tolls from the last several years.
Okay, is it your understanding that she was awarded the vehicle?
Yes, that was part of the decree. Yes.
Okay. Was part of that decree any debt associated with the toll?
Part of that decree was that she was to make a good faith effort to get it refinanced and then registered in only her name. That's what I can recall off the top of my head.
None of that has anything to do with the toll. Is there anything specific as to the toll
I don't
being
recall.
a liability of Jenny Lee?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I think it's more or less implied when one takes ownership of a vehicle, one takes ownership of the tolls accumulated by such vehicle.
The law doesn't work in implication. It's either in the decree or it's not.
Well, so what does the law say, Jeremy?
I'm asking the questions is what it says. Any other outstanding personal obligations that you owe to anyone?
I'm sure there are some.
Okay.
Like I said,
Tell us what they are.
Well, I'd have to look at my credit report.
Okay, you owe credit cards, correct?
Yeah.
You said there's
Oh,
some things in
another-
collections, a toll bill, and what else?
2,500 to Colorado State.
What is that for?
That is from a bill that went unpaid when I withdrew.
Is that a tuition bill or part of a student loan or what?
I think that's tuition because student loans are different. Oh, and then the student loans too. That's like another 10 grand in student loans.
Okay, those from collections as well?
No,
They're current?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what about any outstanding bills from that you're aware of from the rental that you were in at the time that you separated?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things on collections.
Okay, what is that?
It's about $4 grand.
Okay. and
Last
that-
I looked, anyways.
What is it
It's either
for?
2 or 4 grand. Well, when the divorce started, I had that protective order served on me, and then Jenny vacated the premises.
Okay,
and
I'm going to object to non-responsive form.
Okay.
The question is, what does this $4,000 represent?
That would be the condition that the rental was left in at the end of the lease.
Okay. And is that also for any unpaid rents?
I think we had paid all the rents. I think that was all.
Okay, so the condition of the premises, you believe.
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of any unpaid medical bills for the children?
No, I'm not aware of any.
Are you aware of any outstanding or unpaid medical bills for Jenny Lee arising out of the altercation where you placed her into a chokehold?
No.
So you believe all those bills have been paid?
I don't know one way or the other. Hadn't discussed it.
Do you have questions?
Yeah, I'll ask a few. Nathan, I think Jeremy's covered a lot of the finance stuff, but do you have access to private health insurance?
No.
Do you have access to any type of group health insurance or insurance through the VA?
No. Not
So-
to my knowledge.
Okay, no way to insure the children, correct?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
I mean, besides buying it through the government, I guess, the Obamacare stuff.
Have you ever reimbursed Jenny Lee for the cost of the insurance that she pays for the children?
No.
Okay. Did you ever pay the $55 a month in cash medical you were ordered to pay under the decree?
No.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't, or you had some hesitancy? I'm just asking.
Well, because at the time the decree that was, if I recall, I believe that was because she was unemployed.
She was on Medicaid.
Yeah, and so it was like, hey, you got to pay into that. And then I think that she got off of that whenever she started teaching, which was like a month or two later at another district away from Granbury. And so I guess I was under the impression that if she was no longer on Medicaid, that part wouldn't apply.
Okay. Did you pay it up until the point that she wasn't on Medicaid?
I don't recall.
Okay. The $4,000, I think that y'all are talking about, that's the damages to the apartment. Is that right?
I think that's what the landlord called
Do you
it, yeah.
still receive collections for those?
You mean like correspondence?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's on my credit report, but
Okay. When was the last time you received any type of correspondence on that?
she brought it up on Facebook about 2.5 years ago when I was running for commissioner.
She being who?
The landlord.
The landlord. Do you
Yeah.
recall her name?
I don't recall her name, no.
Okay.
I could probably find it though. It's in an old email somewhere.
How did you meet Michelle Evans?
I met her at the Moms for Liberty event that she invited me to speak at.
Okay. How did she invite you to speak there? How did she know about you?
She'd watched the Blue Shark show and had seen my stuff on Facebook. The Texas Conservative Activist Network is kind of a finite group of people.
Okay. And your girls are going to start kindergarten this year, correct? Or one of your girls are older?
Amelia, yes.
Okay. And where does she attend school right now?
Crescent City Academy.
Okay. How often do you pick her up from school?
Typically when I pick her up, unless it's the summertime, it is from school on Thursdays.
Okay. And then do y'all do this week on, week off schedule in the summer?
Yeah, but that's something else that if we do make this more than about child support, I would like to switch to the month and month, because the week and week, all those, for me, since I can't be around her, it's a like strain on the family to like, hey, can you cover the transfer this week?
You're talking about the exchanges are difficult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's something I would like to change to, you know, one for June, for July, or however most people do it.
Meaning like you would have the girls for an entire month and she would have the girls for an entire month?
Yeah, and I was thinking I would take July since that's when my birthday is. Just kind of makes sense.
Okay. Do you have any objection to the girls having passports or traveling out of the country?
Currently, yes. Yeah.
Okay, what's your objection?
The geopolitical climate in a lot of the world. Now, that's excluding Puerto Rico because they're a territory, but as far as like traveling to another country, yeah, it's not something I'm very comfortable with.
Okay. As they continue through school, what type of visitation schedule do you like during the school year?
I guess it depends on where they're going to school.
If the girls were to be further away from the school district where they are, what type of schedule would you like? Meaning like they moved further into Tarrant County or something like that.
Oh, okay. I guess I would like to get every weekend then.
Every weekend?
Or maybe 4 out of 5 or something.
Okay.
Because, you know, even getting them to Haltom City, you know, on Fridays, and they're the ones where I don't just, you know, keep them during the day for whatever reason. That is kind of a chore. They're
Okay.
always, by the end of the week, it's like they're just tired and they got a hard time waking up, and you know.
So you're referring to the Thursday night visitation and the return to school Friday morning is difficult.
Yeah, it's manageable. We found a way to work around it, but I just have to be sure to put them in bed at like 8 o'clock, because I don't know if they're not getting a lot of sleep during the week or what, but it's, you know, waking them up on Friday mornings can be a chore. But this morning was fine. I think it's just maybe a phase or something. I don't know.
How do you communicate any type of co-parenting issues with Jenny Lee right now?
Through my father.
Okay. Do you want to continue using your father as the intermediary?
Yes, until I'm off of probation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'd like to consider talking to her, or what do you mean after you get off probation?
Yeah, I think for the girls' well-being, it's best that their mother and I can have a conversation, you know, especially when it pertains to them.
Okay. And then sometimes I believe that your girlfriend, Becky, does some of the exchanges, correct?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And does she do any of the communication for the co-parenting or
She
no?
did for a little bit,
Okay.
and then I said, hey, let's just, for record keeping sake, let's run all that through my dad. And so we kind of reeled that back in.
Okay. And then you stated earlier that there was 4,000 in toll bills. Is that correct?
It's between 2 and 4.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but when I looked at it, I said, oh my gosh, that's a lot of bills.
Have you ever sent that toll bill to Jenny Lee?
I just got it the other day.
And so it's for what period of time?
I'd have to look. I don't have it with me. I almost brought it, but I didn't think we'd get on the topic today.
But you haven't been receiving regular bills. You just got hit with one large bill, or you're
Yeah.
receiving regular bills?
Now, they called me a while back, and I said, look, I have a court order. Please stop calling me. That was put into her name. And, you know, that's how I handled the phone call. But then I guess when I had that phone call, they were able to get my address. And then they sent me a bill the other day.
Okay. Will you add that toll bill to the list of things that you need to supplement?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll run through that list that I have when we're done.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any other credits or any other income sources that we haven't talked about today that you would like to be considered in concerns for your child support?
Credits and
Like credits to the child support. So if you receive any type of, or if you pay any type of union payments or anything like that.
I don't suppose so. There's
Okay.
not a union.
Do you have any other income besides what's been discussed today?
We talked about the disability, and then the company, and the contracts for services, and the couple that are kind of pending for the commercial stuff. Yeah, currently that's it.
Okay. Do you anticipate any receiving any other type of future income in the next couple of months that you haven't discussed with us today?
If I sign Michelle back up, because I had helped her out through the end of her campaign, if I decide to sign her back up, then that would be another, $1,000 a month or so. And then I got
Michelle would pay you $1,000 a month?
Yeah, if we sign another contract. So basically, when this last one ended, I said, okay, that took us through the primary date in March. And so I said, okay, I'm not really going to do anything else for you till I get paid because you owe me a lot of money. So.
Okay.
But there could be that. There could be.
Do you believe that you will actually be paid by Michelle?
I'd like to think so.
Okay,
she said the check's in the mail. So, of course, I've heard that used as a euphemism to mean you're not getting it either, so I don't know.
The check's in the mail. When did she say that to you?
I think she texted me that either early this week. I think she texted me that on Tuesday.
Okay.
I can look here real quick. Michelle. $4,000 check has been sent. Okay, so that was Wednesday. Yeah.
And then you talked about your legal fees. I don't believe we had any. Did you ever pay Kelly Sorrell any legal fees too?
$1,000, yeah.
Okay. And when was that paid?
I don't recall. It was kind of at the start of the violation of protective order stuff, you know, that lasted like 18 months or
Mhm.
whatever. And Kelly, bless her heart, I asked her several times, I said, do you need to send me an invoice? And she just never sent one, so, but I did pay her $1,000.
Okay. But that was for the violation of the protective order. You haven't paid her anything on this case?
No,
Okay. And she didn't send you an invoice?
no.
Okay.
Have y'all heard from her lately, by the way?
We have not. I have not.
Okay. One of her neighbors said all her stuff was out in the front yard the other day. Just didn't know if she was okay.
Part of your discovery that you sent said that there were disparaging comments made by Ms. Morales, myself, and my staff members. What specific disparaging comments were you referring to?
Comments you and your staff made on Facebook about me.
What comments?
I'd have to go back and look at the screenshots and stuff.
What was the topic?
It was me in the initial accusations made against me, the handling of the case. You know, I think Cindy had said something, which I don't think she works for you anymore, but I wish you would have taken the stand that day. You know, you just a few weeks ago were engaging with me, and I had to block your account again because it's not the first time that that's happened.
I have never engaged with you on Facebook.
Okay. I'll, yeah.
So what few weeks ago did you engage with me?
I'd have to go back and look.
Let's look it up.
Well, I don't. Let's see.
And you still haven't told me what disparaging comments I've made that's keeping you from being employed.
It is the posts and comments that you have made and those and your staff have made that have damaged my reputation further, that kept clients from signing up with me.
The post about your charges and you pleading guilty?
There's been a lot of stuff. I'd have to do some digging.
So will you supplement those?
I absolutely will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you understand it's not disparaging when it's the truth, correct?
Well, it's the truth that I was no billed, so there's that.
It's the truth that you pled guilty, correct?
Yes.
To violating the protective order.
Yes.
Okay.
A process crime. You're absolutely correct.
Okay. And it's the truth that you put her in a chokehold that night, correct?
And it's also true that she had a knife that night. Thank you.
What kind of knife was that? What kind of knife was it?
I object to the questions for right now.
You still have to answer it.
I'm not going to.
Okay. And how come there are no pictures of the knife?
I can tell you that we bought the knife set from Bed Bath & Beyond while I was working on an oil rig.
Okay.
I came back and she wanted to do some shopping for home goods.
And how did she get that knife out of the girl's bedroom?
I don't understand the premise of your question.
She came at you with a knife when she left the girl's bedroom, is your story, correct?
I've told my story once, and that's all I'm going to tell my story.
When did you tell it?
I told it to the sheriff's office investigators.
Okay.
You can pull the video for that. That's all I have to say.
Okay. So, what other disparaging comments have I made besides the Facebook post?
We decided that we'll just supplement it.
And you're going to supplement every one that I've made that's disparaging?
Yeah.
Okay. And that includes any statements made by Jenny Lee Morales, Kendall Hicks Green, and Cindy Wren?
Yeah, any that I can find that are still in existence.
And do you have any type of documentation that you have not received a job based on those statements?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Can you
believe I
provide
do.
that documentation as well?
Yeah, I sure will.
Okay. And you've made disparaging comments regarding Jenny Lee on your Facebook page, Criswell Strategies, correct?
I told the truth.
That she was a knife-yielding ex.
Wielding.
Okay.
Wielding is a term used when someone has a weapon in their hand.
So why were there no charges brought against her?
It's a good question because on the stand she did admit to assault, family violence, continuous. But, you know.
No, she did not. I was there. She did
yes.
not admit to that.
She said that she had assaulted me twice in the period of a year and that we cohabitated. That constitutes assault, family violence, continuous. You objected to it. I've read the transcript 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so to answer your question, why? Because there's a
Objective
double
form.
standard.
Your protective order was denied that day, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you do understand that a court order being a protective order and a finding of family violence and then a later finding of violation is a true statement. That's not a disparaging statement.
For you and your staff to call me a wife beater is...
I haven't called you a wife beater.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'll go back and look.
You have on here $2,200 a month in revenue. What is that made up of?
That would be for 2 clients running through November. Though since that email was sent, that is all up in the air.
When do you, what do you intend to do after the election's over?
Keep at this until I no longer can, because with a Class A, well, to answer your question, I intend to keep searching for political work.
Okay. What type of other jobs have you looked for?
I haven't.
You haven't looked for any other jobs besides political?
Since I started Criswell Strategies, no, I hadn't had a reason to.
Before you started Criswell Strategies?
Yeah, I looked for other jobs.
Okay, what type of jobs did you look for?
Jobs in Granbury.
Okay. What type of work did you do while you were doing the landscaping? Did you do any other work?
No, not that I recall.
What roughly was your income during the period that you were running the landscaping company?
When I started the LLC or when I was doing it working for my dad?
When you started the LLC?
When I started the LLC, that went bottoms up almost immediately. You know, I was transitioning from it being ran under my father to running under me, and then COVID hit. Most of my clients were working class and they were worried about losing their jobs, and with that being a luxury service, they said, no, thank you, I'm just going to do it myself.
So when you did it for your dad, how were you paid?
I would get a percentage of the revenue that was brought in.
Okay. What were you averaging a month then?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the bank records.
Okay. How did he pay you?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look.
Like, did he pay you as a W-2, a 1099, just pay you cash?
I don't remember.
Okay. You said you have $10,000 in student loans. What's the education?
That was accumulated while I was at, most of that was at Colorado State.
Did you receive any type of degree?
No.
Okay. And you were in the military, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What branch of the military?
Navy.
How long were you in?
4 years to the day.
Okay. Honorable or dishonorable discharge?
Honorable.
Okay. Did you use your GI Bill?
Yes, a little bit of it. I hadn't used all of it. Still got, actually, most of it left.
Does that expire?
No, they took away the expiration a few years ago.
Okay. So you still have the ability to use that?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, I think that's it for today.
Cool.
The time is 4:28 p.m. and we are off the record.